Hello, welcome. This is the Daily Dharma with Deana. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if these messages resonate, you know what to do. Let's just see collective energies in the cards today. So if you're looking for a personal reading, know that this may or may not resonate. You'll have to sort through those energies for yourself to take what resonates and leave the rest. We had some popping cards. Number 18, Cosmic Flower. This is about a growth cycle. Frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. And maybe your sense of home or your past experiences of home have really influenced this in multiple ways, and we're needing to sort through the fertilizer that sometimes seems like BS in our life to make sure that we conceive the future that we deserve and desire. Conception. As we feed ourselves, as we nurture ourselves, we become. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins, or your creation story begins. Whether you see that as a transpersonal galactic soul after soul journey, well, not soul after soul, but experience after experience in a soul cumulative experience, or your family experience, there's something here. Bringing your point of consciousness to the origin of the point that we're talking about here helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. How we feed into a situation that either challenges or really excites us helps the manifestation process. And we can see this, but both of these cards have the word remembrance in them, and I don't have the remembrance card out yet, but there's something, definitely there's that residual energy that we're separating, we're sifting through. Next card, 23, dynamic. It's a 5 that talks a lot about change, and I'm sensing that there's a change in the way that we're bringing ourselves into our experience, where before we may have been more influenced by our background or upbringing, or more of the influences we associate with our shadow self or karmic cycles. I'm seeing people really sifting through, clearing out, and taking firm stances, firm boundaries, and also softening energy towards the areas of life that present that growth, that present energy that can help us feeling inspired and supported, and something about our vulnerable side being accepted, honored, and I want to say developed. So dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between the layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. And this is telling me different personalities, different situations, different origin stories of people that are coming together, and you can share the same space and have a different origin story. It's coming to mind home, siblings, parents, child dynamics, the dynamics of the situation, and how everyone feeds in, and we can either escalate or diffuse situations that are led by passion. Passion not always belonging to the moment. It can be an accumulated sense of distrust, an accumulated anger, something that really may have blasted through in a tower moment, because, I saw 444, because tower moments are meant to shake loose a foundation that doesn't serve, and to help clear out those energies so that new conceptions can begin. So that all came up with the lunar eclipse. Frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So someone has had some deep insight into a situation that may have always gotten them riled up in the past, and they're having an experience that is illuminating the next steps, the change that needs to occur going forward. Frequency of crown chakra coming under cosmic flower. The violet flower of life supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Absolutely. So if you felt overshadowed or in your shadow, it's hard to grow flowers in the shade. I mean, don't get technical on me, there's shade flowers, but you get what I mean. Growth generally happens most expediently in the light. Then we have romantic love there, coming off the top of the deck, 39. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So lover doesn't need to be a sexual connection. Lovers can be the family dynamic as well. People that love you but may show it in a way that doesn't translate into your love language, because everybody has their own shadows, and as they come in, if we're escalating and spinning off each other versus if we're looking for that compromise, seeking out our specific beliefs about a situation, using our intuition to tell us whether or not someone is actually being authentic or compromising what's best for us. Solar plexus coming next, number 3, that's the will and authority center. And anyone who has dealt with any toxicity or perceived toxicity in their past or present, that really asks us to channel our sense of healthy compromise, healthy self-expression, and not the expectation, but the determination to tolerate no less than respect in your situation, coming under dynamic. So there's been a reason or an opportunity to take a stand, to stand firm, and to not be rolled over in a situation. This solar plexus chakra is the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Don't let somebody tell you that you haven't done enough or that they have done so much more, trying to be your anti-hero when you know the truth. Because with crown chakra here and the dynamics we're looking at, there's the big possibility that there's been gaslighting or a sense of major trust issues here, a lack of faith. Coming next, 13. It always reminds me of the correlation with the death card in the major arcana of the tarot. Coherence is the understanding that's generated between heart and mind when we're faced with that cognitive dissonance in our head that tells us something doesn't compute, whether we're gaslighting ourselves or someone else is gaslighting us. There's an urge and a need here to reconcile our passions with the dynamics in the will that is being brought to our door here, and how we're handling that it's a feeling of spiritual maturity, the maturation process, and suddenly breaking through and putting a death to any old dynamics that have been at play within your solar plexus chakra, compromising your sense of personal authority, confidence, and self-assertion, healthy self-pride, healthy assertion, and self-respect. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. And a good part of that is not investing in those old stories that bring us down, that keep our vibe in questioning predicaments. Say what you mean to say the first time. Don't compromise when your intuition and your instinct is really showing you that the tension and the instincts that you hold are correct. Under the deck is 8, alchemy. So alchemy and dynamics and passion are really coming through with a sense of that we're really witnessing the difference, the stark difference between those that we can work with and collaborate with and conceive this sense of the romantic sense of love versus the unconscious sense of control and dominance and these aggressive passions. Alchemy is the healthy integration of those energies so that the two can become something greater, something more tangible, more viable, sustainable, and healthy for everybody. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. That's talking about transmutation. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation, talking about that transmutation of lead into gold, what weighs down the heart and soul into true light, spiritual gold by reaching for our goals with as much love and light as we can bring while still mastering the throat punch. All right, under the deck of this Shaman's Dream Oracle, here we have Caterpillar, opportunity. So there's always this masking glamour aspect with this card that I see. Somebody who wants to be looked at with love and respect. And I sense suspicion with this card a lot. And I sense inauthenticity and appearances, pretense with this card a lot of time. And somebody who exalts certain people and love bombs, and then with other people, you see the other face. You're never sure which face you're speaking to because they all kind of resemble each other and interlock with each other. Here we have, I didn't actually shuffle on camera. This is Cosmic Womb, though, number 6. Very etheric, subtle card. Cosmic Womb, the divine feminine, really talks to me about gestation periods and how we incubate our spirit through things that challenge us by dynamics that we have to work through. If we were never asked to transmute any lower vibrational energies, would we ever do anything besides sit on our laurels and feel entitled to just that overindulgent energy? So challenges help us to evolve and grow and to learn how to use our alchemy and when to use it and when to leave a situation alone, stand firm, and keep our energies safe and secure is what I'm feeling. So also with romantic love, and recently we've had a lot of romance in the cards, I'm seeing that even though there may be these deeper triggering things from the past that are being looked at and brought to the surface, maybe aired, maybe showing our less than perfect sides, there's an element of the truth and how our authenticity brings in romantic situations and opportunities for us for more love and more bonding and more intimate relationships in our life. And that doesn't, again, always have to be the sexual romantic type of bonding. We're looking for something here. Number 1 popping out first, a tidy house. Clarity and organization has been coming through a lot lately. First card in this deck, it talks a lot about keeping ourselves organized on multi-levels. We all understand how, filing paperwork and handling our bills in a timely manner can really aid our adulting ability and leading to not paying more with late fees, for instance. And in our house, there's many benefits to keeping things tidy, but that's the physical level, and that does reflect our inner dynamics. whether, I mean, and some people can have a very messy inner life and cling to the control of cleaning their physical environment, and vice versa. Somebody may spend so much time in their head that they let their house go. But a tidy house is talking about maintaining the inner temple and allowing yourself to maintain the balance that's necessary to lead a balanced life on every level. You know, letting that energy spiral out into your relationships by keeping these dynamics in check and not clinging to those power dynamics, control dynamics, or any complexes that have arisen in the past, and becoming clear and organized in what energies we're allowing into our life. It's like a whole new world, a brand new beginning here. By releasing the past, we're creating space. First breath, beginner's mind, 21. That's the last card in the major arcana in the tarot. And this is telling me this time it is about a completion. And it's like we're taking a stand that we never have taken before, and we're knocking either somebody's socks off, blowing somebody's mind. They don't expect this, but I feel like it's for the best. Next card coming out, mindful, groupthink. So we were talking about that with the tidy house. There's something that needs to be released, something that you may be dwelling on. That's exactly what lower energies need to survive, is dwelling and sitting in that energy. So allow yourself to release any type of questioning or urge to figure out any external situation or person or personality. Resist talking about these people, even to yourself in your mind, and think about the impact on yourself when you think about these things and go in these cycles of unburying and what's wrong with me, what's wrong with them, what's wrong. It's like at some point you need to push back from finding every problem to then think, oh, this doesn't bring me clarity, this doesn't bring me a sense of delight and a feeling of greater romance. It brings that heaviness, that lead-weighted feeling in the pit of our stomach that tells us this is all there is, and that fear that says something that we want may never happen. There's something here in the hand underneath the deck, 31. In the hand, the universe is your partner. And this is definite law of attraction here, and this urge to release something that's unhealthy and create a whole new self, a whole new you, and a new beginning here is giving me the feeling that you're creating space, you're creating a vacuum that sucks in your abundance. And okay, so next, a stranger among a dynamic, perhaps an outsider looking in. Somebody's observing something with curiosity, and it's an interesting card. I feel that this person wants somehow to become involved, but they also appear to me to be a conjurer, maybe even like a, well, let's move on. Let's not dwell on the others here. So there's somebody viewing this with some type of curiosity, maybe a romantic love interest that has just started out because it's coming over conception, romance, romantic love, and tidy house, first breath. So maybe you wanted to present this well-maintained persona in home or something, but there's this element of you're still in the transition phase of moving into this new life, and so this stranger is witnessing you transform here. And I'm seeing that they're very calm, they're very reflective, very mature, very poised. And I'm seeing them as being very dynamic as well. They're bringing some magic into this situation and a lot of good self-control and courage. That 53 turns into an 8. Deep quiet meditation and stillness is coming out next, 11. there's definitely a need to go silent on a situation until you figure out where you want to go in some way, to reflect on your own dynamic in either escalation or diffusing of some type of charged situation, lots of passions. So, and I'm seeing too, okay, with passions, cosmic flower, conception, we already talked about this being, I saw 2020, this being kind of some baby making energy last week with the lunar eclipse. And so with this, there's this coming together, this budding romance that is, there's some type of a connection. I'm feeling a chakra activation between individuals that are coming together in a new partnership, a very dynamic partnership that's lending a lot of spiritual strength and acceptance and support to both partners, creating a deeper understanding between each individual's heart-mind and then each other's heart-mind, and spinning off each other in that way. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty, 43. So look at that big old mansion of a place overflowing and just pouring out. This is reminding me of tears shed, where something may have either gotten out of hand, or somebody is maybe even crying tears of joy, but something has probably been emotionally overwhelming because or maybe your passions were flowing this weekend, and yeah, I'll leave that one right there. But whatever is coming in, there's been a release of something that has kept you stuck or stymied, some kind of perplexity over here, confusion energy that is being put in its place, released from the energy field so that something new can come in. And under the deck with that in the hand, the universe is your partner. I'm really feeling that whatever new is coming in, there's an enormous amount of resonance, and it's like power couple dynamics here. I'll just get a couple of handwritten cards, 22, to see a few messages. So there will probably be cards for a couple different scenarios, so take the ones that make sense in the context that you're thinking about. So first tell me about the situation here where there's this past information. Oh, karmic cycle popped out already. So there was a karmic cycle that we've worked through in some type of a way that may have escalated or even deteriorated into something undesired here. Regret, I'm sorry. So there may even be an argument. Let's see, anything else? And about this karmic cycle, any advice or insight that the viewer may wish to take into account? Tread carefully. And why is that? Scared of commitment under the deck. So somebody hasn't made up their mind. There's still balls in the air or decisions to be made. So tread carefully. Don't expose yourself without paying attention. Be clear and organized if somebody's looking at your work and trying to find issues in what you say. Somebody wanted you to chase them. Okay. All right, that's enough with that one. And what about this budding romantic dynamic here that we just had? Okay. We have 1111, twin flame popping out yet again. We've had that a lot. And we have falling for you hard, stand firm, authority, wisdom, intuition, sacred space, lucid, protect. So some confirmations for some of you. So if there's some type of a link between the past and your concerns of the budding romance, make sure that you're not seeing and creating mountains out of molehills and creating red flags where there aren't any, but definitely don't resist addressing the things that you do see as red flags or that you do see as intolerable, because the right individual, the right circumstance will honor what's right. Okay, I'm seeing addiction and self-medicate, instant attraction, and Uranus coming out next. So that's a friendship vibe and also a detached vibe. So whether this is something that's a little bit more tenuous, beginning, there's a lot of attraction, there's concerns about the patterning here, and someone is definitely falling, but another person is really having to stand firm in this situation. Okay, anything else? Last card coming out here. Leader, entrepreneur, trendsetter, boss. So continue to invest in yourself, continue to be a chain breaker and interrupt the patterns operating unduly in your life. Mature feminine, maybe a Cancer or dealing with the Cancer. Positive mental attitude brings flow. Use the law of attraction and the law of abundance to not only accept and give thanks for where you are at, give gratitude for the situations that show you very clearly where you can uplift your vibe even further and move away from things that don't resonate, or in fact turn your light into lead and bring your gold down into the dumps. There's someone who's an ascending master or working with some of the ascended masters. You're being supported. Sixes here, maybe seeing some number synchronicities. Sixes are about balance, reciprocity, equality. It's a Libran influence. Somebody here has ulterior motives, but they think they love you. They weren't at their best. They're learning lessons. And under the deck, music reminds me. So maybe some music will help your healing process, helping you to not dwell into the lower cycles and lower thought patterns and thought forms that really weigh you down. Let that shit go. So use your energy, use your opportunities and your music or whatever you're into to bring yourself peace, love, joy, and it's not spiritual bypassing to maintain your vibe. Believe me, you won't forget anything that's coming at you as long as you stay organized and keep your mental, psychological home in good order. Stay lucid and protect your sacred space. And don't invite disrespectful energies into your time, into your life, into your home. I had a bunch pop out, but all of them were upside down except one, which is the 32 card, and 23 is the dynamic card. So we have the mirror image. 32, the Tao cannot be perceived. Smaller than an electron, it contains uncountable galaxies. If powerful men and women could remain centered in the Tao, all things would be in harmony. The world would become a paradise. All people would be at peace, and the law would be written in their hearts. When you have names and forms, know that they're provisional. When you have institutions, know where their functions should end. Knowing when to stop, you can avoid any danger. All things end in the Tao, as rivers flow into the sea. So conception, an argument begins with a seed. It begins with something smaller than an electron. And so does love, and so does everything else. Your self-image, your self-belief, self-respect. Under the deck here on the Tao deck, number 7, the Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born. Thus, it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself. Thus, it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She's detached from all things. That is why she's one with them. Because she's let go of herself, she is perfectly fulfilled. So somebody has handled themselves, I want to say, in a more healthy way than they could have. But there's always more work to be done. But something in the process of escalation was stopped in time to avoid a dangerous escalation here. So this may have really come down to some very, very interesting dynamics over the weekend. So there's egos in the way here. If people can overcome their ego needs or their wounded nature, there's compromise here, which compromise doesn't mean that you necessarily have to compromise when you're with a toxic individual. Know where that point begins and ends. All right, I think that will do it for today. I hope that everyone is feeling safe and protected, and if you're not, definitely invoke whatever powers that you believe in and work with. And if you don't understand how to do that, just at least say, if you feel people are attacking or coming at you, just practice invoking and saying, I am highly favored and protected by the spiritual divine, by my intentions and the beauty and love that I wish to maintain in my life, in my heart. I wish to be a beacon of this love, and anyone that puts anything less than love in my direction, projected, gossip, anything else, return that to sender. Let them please look into the mirror of their hearts and souls to understand where their projected energy does not belong to me. And if they cannot, that does not mean anything in my energy. It does not mean that I'm anything less than what I am, intentionality wise. Know who you are. So yes, return to sender and just proclaim your value and the love and support that you have in your life. Thank you so much. Take good care of yourself. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you are resonating with these messages every day. And don't forget to tune in and check out what the messages are each day. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.